There are a couple fish in this tank right here that many fish keepers are not familiar with, but those that have them absolutely love this fish. One for one, anyone who's owned one and talked to me about it has just been crazy about this fish. Maybe it's the name. I mean, who doesn't like chocolate? Well, let's talk a little bit about what's called the Chocolate Cichlid. This is a 210-gallon South and Central American tank. It's about 7 feet across. It has some pretty big guys in it, like Oscars, Viejas. But in the mix are these two chocolate cichlids. And when I first got them, I was told that having two together was probably not a good idea. But these two have gotten along fine. These are South American fish, and if you read about them, you'll hear a lot of things about how they can be finicky eaters. I have not found that to be the case. My chocolate cichlids will eat pretty much anything that I put into this tank. I think they're loved so much because of their temperament. They're very, very peaceful and calm. When they were smaller, they would go after each other a little bit. But for the most part, they've been really good tank mates with everybody in the aquarium. And they remind me of, for those of you old enough to remember, those old mood rings. People would wear these rings, and if the color was blue or green, it meant you were in a good mood. If the color was dark or black, it meant you were probably in a bad mood. But these fish will show how they're doing and their stress based on their color. If they color down or get a little gray, or it means that they're probably under some kind of stress, either through aggression in the tank or something's not right on the diet. Love the red-orange eye. They can show signs of purple, green, bits of red. You can see these two here. They haven't paired off. I'm not really sure if they're males or females, but they do get along okay. Very unusual shape, like a downward slope on the head. Very interesting fins. The way the fins shape and curl around the back of the body. They'll eat everything. They eat everything I give them, from bloodworms to high quality pellets. And you can see the tank mates in here. There's a Salvini. Again, a fish that a lot of people told me would not work because they can be very aggressive, but Sally's okay. There's a very old Geo in here. The firemouth. Red shoulder. There's some silver dollars, a Nicaragua back there. And of course the big giant Vieja and the Oscars. And they all seem to get along okay. There's a Jack Dempsey back there who just spends his time guarding that rock. They can get 10 to 12 inches. They can put on some good size. Turn the lights up so you can see them a little better. But even though they're considered a peaceful cichlid, I still wouldn't put anything in the tank that could easily fit in their mouth, because I'm pretty sure they would eat it. I have gotten bitten by them while feeding them, and they have quite a bite. But you can see the unique shape, the unique coloration. A very underrated seldom talked about, but very much loved South American cichlid, the Chocolate Cichlid. Have you owned chocolate cichlids? What was your experience with them? I hear they can last 10 to 12 years. They can last a long time if kept in good water conditions and fed good quality food and kept relatively stress-free with good tank mates. I'm hoping these guys live more than 10 years. That would be awesome. But tell me what's been your experience with chocolate cichlids. Have you owned them? How did it go? What were the tank mates you had them with? What kind of tank did you have them in? What were you feeding them? Tell me in the comments below. As I like to say, we all learn from each other, and I highly recommend this fish. You will need a big tank. I don't recommend anything smaller than, I would say, minimum 75, but ideally 125 or larger, because they do put on some good size. I was under the impression at one point that they were from Mexico, but I understand now that they're actually from all over South America, like I think primarily in the Amazon basin, not exclusively chocolate. Cichlid chocolate. Anyway, pick up a chocolate cichlid if you can. They're a great fish, super mellow when they're young. They can get into it with each other, a little territorial, but as they got older, they just got more and more mellow and just a lot more fun to have in the tank, and they don't make any trouble. And maybe it's because they're certainly smaller than some of these bigger fish, but certainly at the top of my list for South American cichlids. So if you'd like to see all my fish profiles, click on this playlist up here. And if you'd like to subscribe, just hit me in the mug up here and you'll be subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Let YouTube know something good's going on. All right. Thank you, my friends. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.